Hey guys, this is Gloria. So I am here to share with you guys a project and sort of a tutorial if you guys are unaware of how to put the teacup favor box together. I sell these in my shop, which is Make It Cutesy on Zibbit. You receive 3 sets of die cuts in order to make 3 different boxes. Well, 3 of the same boxes, but 3 boxes. So what you will receive with each set is this middle insert piece here that actually joins the front and the back together. You'll receive this piece, which is the saucer piece that sits underneath the teacup. You'll receive the little tag that hangs on the side of the teacup, and then you'll receive the front face and the back face of the teacup. So once you receive these, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to try to figure out which side you would like your teacup box to face. So if you like it this way, you could paper it that way, or if you like it to sit this way, you can also paper it this way. So I have cut one out already because I wanted my teacup to face this way. All I did was I put my teacup down on my paper the way that I want my paper to lay. So if this is the way that I want my paper to lay, this is the way I'm going to trace the paper onto the back. If I wanted it to be the opposite way, if I wanted my teacup to face this way, then I would have to, of course, cut my paper that way. I hope that makes sense. So this is the way that I cut the paper. And as you can see, I did not cut it all the way to the bottom. It's not necessary because there is a score line here that actually scores, and you can use your bone folder to score it really well, but it scores on both pieces. Make sure your handles are matching up, and one will score, inward, and the other will score inward, so that you're going to make a base that looks just like this. Very, very simple. So again, you're just putting your paper, this is just a scrap piece of paper, you're putting your paper down and you're tracing out, tracing out your paper. And again, you don't have to worry about this bottom part because it's going to be hidden underneath. So you're going to trace that out and just cut it out. I used my scissors as well as my X-Acto knife by Recollections, because you will have to cut out this middle part, and it wasn't hard at all. Very simple. Just take your time going around the curves. And also, this is the piece that I cut here. Just make sure that when you're cutting your paper, that you're cutting on the inside of your line. I'm trying to get it to focus, but you're cutting on the inside of your pencil mark and not the outside. So you're clearly cutting away your pencil mark, and that will give you a very even cut to line your paper onto your piece, just like this. And so this little piece here, you can actually, fold there and glue it down so that it'll be very continuous and you won't see any raw chipboard, or you can just cut that part off, because it doesn't matter. Once you embellish this, you're not going to see that anyway. So I'm just going to use some Mod Podge. You can use any kind of wet glue, or you can use dry glue. It's up to you, but I find that wet glue works best for me. So I'm just going to use my Mod Podge, and I have a old paintbrush that I use with it. Foam brushes work really well. And so all you're going to do is take the part that you traced, the chipboard that you traced, line it with your Mod Podge. Make sure that you're getting all of the edges, especially, because you don't want your paper to pop back up. Quick dry adhesive glue works well, and even school glue works really well. So you don't have to have very expensive glue to do this project with. So once you do that, you're just going to line up your paper onto your chipboard. And get my rag. I always have a a craft rag near you when you're working with wet glue. And you're just going to make sure that it's stuck down really good. You can use a brayer, you can use your finger like I'm doing here. I have a brayer, but I don't know where it is right now. So I'm just going to use my finger to make sure that it's stuck down really, really good. And this bottom part here, I'm just going to put a little bit more glue there because I didn't put glue there to begin with. Just because I want it to be continuous. I don't want to have to cut it off, but you can cut that part off as well. So then you're just going to bend that and make sure that it's scored really good. And this is the face of our teapot, or our teacup. So you do the same thing with the back. You just trace it out. So let me find, this is just another scrap piece of paper, very pretty. And so I'm just going to trace it out, show you how I would trace it. Trying to get it in frame. Tutorials are the hardest, guys, only because my setup, my video setup is not the best. My camera is literally sitting right in front of me, so it makes it really difficult when you're trying to work around a tripod that is sitting on your workstation. So bear with me. But again, all I'm doing is just tracing it out. And this is what you're going to come up with, because this is the face. This is how it's going to look on the front. So again, I'm just going to cut it out really quickly. And remember, I'm going in the very inside part of the line. Yours will be much better because you won't have to work around this tripod in order to cut it, but you guys get the idea. Sorry, I'm trying to see here. But it's very simple to cover chipboard. I love, as you guys already know, I love working with chipboard because it makes your projects very sturdy. It makes them last for a long time, and it's just a lot of fun to transform them. And maybe if you guys have this die at home, you can, you could cut yours and make some teapot favors of your own. This is going to be a little difficult because again, I'm working around the tripod, but as you can see, I'm just cutting. You can either cut right on the line or cut right above the line. And this is a self-healing mat that I'm working on. You can also use a glass mat, or even a picture frame glass, an old picture frame glass. That'll probably work really well because the glass helps the knife to glide easier. Doing it on a self-healing mat, it's kind of grabbing the knife, if you know what I mean, and the glass will just let it flow or glide easier. So this one, it's not going to be as perfect, I don't think, as the first one that I cut because I'm working around this tripod, but that's okay because you can always mask your happy mistakes. So this is what that looks like. Very pretty. And so this one will go on the front, and as you can see, this is the front of this one, so this one will go on this side of this one. So then again, I'm going to take my Mod Podge and make sure that I put it all over. I put a lot of glue on this one. Didn't need that much, but so just make sure that it's all over that, covering your chipboard. and just put your piece on top. Very, very simple. And again, if you made a little boo-boo, you could always cover that up with some pretty flowers, or you know, with the tag, or what have you. So just cleaning it up a little bit because I got a lot of glue on this one. Try not to put too much glue, but enough glue to hold it. And so now it's all on. So now at this time, if you wanted to, you could take the your, what do you call that, your ink, and you could ink around the edges. I'm not going to do that for the sake of the video. I'm just going to show you guys how to put this together. So the next thing that you could do is this piece I measured from score line to score line here. If you wanted to paper that piece just so that it can look more uniform, that piece is 1 4/8 wide right in here. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to bend it on the score lines. All I'm doing is just bending it on the score lines that are going to be on your pieces. And just take your time and bend it because it is chipboard, so it may not bend as easy as paper would. So just use your bone folder and just take your time bending it. But they should bend pretty easy. And then there's also score lines here that bend up. So now you have this V shape. And so what you're going to do is you're going to take that V shape and you're going to match it up with the top of your box and the bottom of your box. So you could either hot glue it here, which is what I'm going to do. No, I think that's the way you have to do it, is hot glue it there. So hot glue it at the bottom first. So I got my hot glue gun here. And I'm just going to put some hot glue, if it works for me. I'm going to put some hot glue on there. And just glue this down. And then I'm going to take my other side. And I'm going to put some hot glue. And I'm going to glue that part down. So this is what your bottom is going to look like, just like this. And this is what your box is going to look like so far. So now the only thing that is left is to put a little glue here and glue up the sides. You can also use red line tape for this, but I just think that the hot glue is a lot quicker and easier for me to do. But whatever works best for you. Because these pieces are already pretty much in place, you can't really mess it up from here. So it's up to you how you want to do it. But that is one side put together. And then I'm going to do the same thing to this side. Put a little hot glue there, a little here, and a little there. And I'm just going to fold my teacup right up. And now it's all put together. So now the only other thing to do is to trace around your oval, which is your base of your teacup. And then you're going to hot glue your teacup right down on there. And then it also comes with a little tag that looks like this. And you can paper this as well. And use some floss or some type of ribbon to hang your little tag off of it. And then you're done. And that's all you have to do to put your little teacup together. So I hope that helps anyone that needed some direction on the teacups. Again, you can find these in my shop, Make It Cutesy on Zibbit. And I will leave the information down below. Take care, guys. Bye.